Alrighty guys, welcome to Star Citizen and my impressions of the game from a kind of skeptical person. Originally back in 2016, 2015, whenever I first heard about this game, I wanted to be one of the first to back it, but then when I heard that there was nothing that they'd ever, or there was like no demo, there was no tech, there was no nothing. It was, oh, by the way, you can give us $40 and then we give you a picture of a ship that'll be in a hangar that you won't get to fly for the next 4 or 5 years. Um, Back then, I decided that this game was not worth the time to put much more thought into it or to give them my money because I'd never thought that it was going to be created. And I was wrong to an extreme degree. Welcome to Star Citizen. So right now we are currently in the universe screen, and you have your self-land hangars, or you have the starport. The starport that it used to automatically start you off at was Port Hollister, but all of these locations could be your starting position. Being Grim Hex, which is Green Imperial Hex, Lorville Area 18. That's one area here I've not actually been at. Um, I I'm not sure what that one is. The Rest and Relax, or Levski. I've been to Levski. Honestly, I would say Port Hollister is the best place to start, and Port Hollister is the place that I'm going to be starting. This is Port Hollister, by the way. This is a two-dimensional, obviously a two-dimensional, just picture of Port Hollister, which you will see in a very short time here is actually very, very, very accurate to what you're going to be getting yourself into. So, I haven't just bought the starter package for this game. I have gotten quite a bit of stuff when it comes to this in-game. I've actually tested out every ship except, or I've tested out every ship at the price point of the Cutlass and below. I have not tested out the ground vehicles, but that is something that will come in to a later date. The ground vehicles, yes, you can spawn them in, and yes, you can roll around in them, but you have to put them in the back of a ship. I'm headed to Porto. Yeah, Port Hollister is it's a beautiful place. This is just one of the 4 terminal areas. As you can see, I have quite a few vehicles here. And yet again, I've tested out pretty much the Cutlass Black and everything under it for that price point. The 300i, I'm really not impressed with. The Aurora CL, I absolutely love. Or, not the CL, the LN, I absolutely love. The CL is what is it? The transporter variant with 6 cargo, which actually what I'm going to be experimenting with today. But my favorite ship by far is the Anvil Pisces. The Anvil Pisces is just by far the best ship, in my opinion, that is currently in the game for a small ship. And yeah, if you would have told me when this game was first kind of being like talked about, kind of being shown that there would be this much to it. Just take a second to actually look at this. There's a couple of shops in Port Hollister which you can go to get some basic level stuff. This is not going to be really a tutorial, obviously, because this is just going to be like the way that I see this game, and the reason that I am still here playing it. But you'll kind of see the grandeur of this game once I walk up the stairs. That is not a two-dimensional image. Everything in this game is fully three-dimensionally built in a massive open world area. This is a real spaceport in this game. This is the Aurora CL. This is just the ship that I happen to be wanting to experiment with right now. Actually, I guess not really experiment with, just like play around with, have some fun with, because this is a cargo variant of the Aurora. And this, the first time you walk up, the first time you see this, the first time you get to fly your ship, just turn on my my headlamp here, the first time you get to fly your ship, it is something that is truly, truly amazing. Yet again, I have always been the skeptical type. I never, ever thought that they were going to be able to create something like this. And it's less of what they have right now and more of what is coming in the future that is truly, genuinely amazing. Let's turn the ship on. And yeah, there's a cinematic camera, but I'm not exactly sure how to get it to work.
Stand by. 4 shields. Shields max.
And let's take off, shall we?
Complete.
Oop! I forgot, these things are a little bit butt heavy. And all those green triangles, yeah, those are fellow players. Technically, this game is, it's going to be quote-unquote an MMO, but this game, it feels more like an actual, like, experience kind of a game, less of an MMO. But I am going to fly to the place where I'm going to be picking up a load of cargo. And actually, no, let's not do a scrap run. Let's do a more fun run. We are going to go... Actually going to land back at Port Hollister for what we're about to do here. And yeah, you actually have to call into Port Hollister and request permission to land. My landing gear is already down, luckily. So I will... Oh, no, 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 no. Okay, we're good. We're good. That was close. We're good. Yeah, I will catch back up with you once we actually get in the sky, once we actually get this whole thing going.
Landing complete.
Landing complete. Have a pleasant stay.
But one more thing before I head down. This is the Aegis Titan. This is one of the other ships that that you can fly. That's like technically one of the one level up. That's an 890 jump. That is an 890 jump. There's no one talking about that. There's legitimately an 890 jump right next to Port Hollister. That is one of the capital ships in this game. That thing is almost the size of Port Hollister. I gotta go take a look at this thing. Alright, we're gonna put this cargo mission on hold for a little while. I want to see this thing up close. Yeah, it is kind of like... one thing I don't really like about the Auroras is that there's this get into the ship animation. Okay, knives out, come on. No! Alright, you guys, let's see if the servers have come back up. I've waited a few minutes to hopefully give us a chance to get back into the game. I'm guessing that was pretty much just like a routine server crash, though. That happens all the time. That is one of the biggest dangers of running cargo in this game. What the heck?
Welcome to Roman Space Industries. Enjoy the ride. System check. Stand by.
Where are
4
we?
shields max.
We're inside the sun. How the actual heck did we end up inside the sun? Okay, it doesn't want us to set route. So let's just look for something. No, we're right next to the sun. Let's just see what else is around here. I'd like to go to an actual planet if I could. Delamar. Yeah, sure. I guess I will rejoin with you guys once I get to Delamar. Alrighty, you guys, we have made it to Delamar, and now I am going to turn right back around and head over to Crusader so we can go back to Port Hollister.
Water drive is now on.
Yeah, there is one thing, though, that I will say about this game. The jump times for these small ships is a little bit too long, in my opinion. I know that they had just decreased it, but I think they need to take it down another notch. 5 to 10 minute travel times for a guaranteed entry-level ship is slightly rough. Alrighty, you guys, I have made it back to Port Hollister. And it does not look like there is a giant 890 jump floating off in the distance. Kinda sad day, but that's alright. So beyond my minor, and yet again I say minor, gripes about this game, this is truly the kind of game that you have to experience firsthand to actually understand what it is and how it works. I didn't care about the development of this game until about 2 weeks ago. Wait, there it is.
Landing gear deployed.
There are so many ships. There are so many possibilities. And the thing is, they're redesigning, or not redesigning, they're literally inventing technology for this game that has never been done before. The planet technology, the experience in going into those planets' atmospheres, having them affect the gravitational pull of you, having the planets actually move in an orbit, all of this stuff is planned, and this is just the first, like, first little galaxy. You got this cluster of planets, you've got Delamar, Crusader, or Delamar, I guess I should say, ArcCorp, and then you got Microtech. Microtech is a planet that I'm going to be going to today, for this video. And you will see the true technology that they have been developing that on the surface may not seem like it's all that much, but the more and more you get down into it, the more and more you realize what this game is, the more I genuinely think, at least if you're like me, the more I think people are going to love it. And I genuinely love it. So I'm going to head down. I'm going to pick up a different ship because I don't think I want to be flying an MR or an A. Wow, I just totally fumbled over my own words there. An Aurora CL. Probably grab my LN or something. Something a little bit more fast and fun. Alright, you guys. I've gotten a different ship. I've gotten a bigger ship. I guess I shouldn't say I've gotten. I have pulled out a bigger ship. Oh yeah. To give you some sense of scale for the Cutlass Black versus something like the Aurora, or I guess I shouldn't say give you some sense of scale. This is the sense of scale. This is how big this ship is. Just look at it. This is so much bigger than what you had before, or it's bigger than what I had before. And let me tell you, it feels every bit bigger than what it is. Some of the collision hitbox things are kind of weird. You can kind of scoot around things at times. Just look at how big this thing is. Just seriously. I realize now that I actually unfit the ship before I grabbed it out. I'm gonna have to refit it and resummon it, but yeah, just to get a general understanding of how massive this thing actually is. And this is a medium-sized ship. This is the basic entry-level medium-sized ship. This would be one step up from something like the 300i or the Titan. Come on, door. There we go. Just to give people some sense of scale of how real, and I guess I shouldn't say how real, but how substantial these things feel. I mean, like, just look at this engine. As a beefy boy. Alrighty. Alright. Our little friend in the 890 jump appears to be back, and I have picked out, or I've grabbed one of my other ships. This is my custom 300i by Origin Jumpworks. This is kind of the hot boy of hot boy ships. This is, as you can tell, a wee bit fancier. Just a wee bit. And a Freelancer Max. Let's start up the engines. Thank you.
Origin Jumpworks at your service. Core system operational.
Just look at that.
Launch complete.
Whoop. Just to kind of get a general comparison.
Raised.
Thank you. And please visit again.
Oh, I guess I was wrong about the size of the 890 jump. I thought that this thing was way bigger. Huh. Well, I guess there it goes. Goes to show you. Still says that I have a Mustang. Any fixes? Yeah, you need to upgrade it. But that is definitely something to look up on YouTube. Alright, well, let's start heading our way over to Microtech. Alrighty, you guys, welcome to New Babbage. This is the first time that I have seen the new city, and this is starting to look really interesting. It almost looks like there's a large capital ship there that's half buried in a mountain. I could be wrong about the way that that looks. We are now in a no weapon zone. Just take a little journey over here. Let's take a look at this. Also, you do want to be careful when you're flying in lower atmosphere or flying in lower stuff, because you may cause yourself to have too much G-forces, and that could kill you. That's actually happened to me a couple of times when I've been trying to pull off insane maneuvers in atmosphere to test that out, and I end up killing myself with G-forces. So that appears to be... Wait, that appears to be a space base, almost. Do we have anything up on our comlinks? Spaceport. Yes, it is. New Babbage Spaceport. Does it give me a pop-up of anywhere else to land? I'm just gonna assume that this is the spaceport. Although I could be very wrong about that. Yeah, welcome to Microtech. Yeah, you can see the, kind of like the insane level of detail that they have just for the planetary stuff. Are these have got to be spaceport bases. Okay, I'm going to try this one more time. Contact. New Babbage, spaceport. Does it give me a prompt to land anywhere? Does not appear to be. Alright, well that's alright. Don't think anybody will mind if we end up taking a little bit of look around here. But back to what I was originally saying. As you can see, the technology for this it's just monumental. The technology that they've put into the details of this thing. Like, most of the funding for this game has not gone into designing new ships, designing new areas. It's all gone into the development of new technologies to create something that is really going to be revolutionary. That is why when I talk about what Star Citizen is going to become, this game will become 10 times more than what EVE Online ever was. Simply because the technology is way more advanced. For most MMOs, I don't remember which YouTuber had said this, but I think he said it probably better than anybody. MMOs like World of Warcraft, once you start flying over them, you really see how small they actually are. Everything here almost feels lifelike, almost feels realistically sized. And you can kind of get a general idea of how big things are compared to other things. You could see how big the Cutlass was compared to the Aurora, compared to the 300i, compared to like everything. See if we can sneak our way through here. Nailed it. And you can see this city. Oh, this looks like a perfect roof to land on.
Warning, collision 4. Landing gear deployed. Warning, collision 4.
And get straightened out.
Warning, collision leader. Landing complete.
And being that this planet, I don't think actually technically offers anything as of right now, it's just kind of one of those set pieces that is going to turn into something. There's not really anybody here, there's nothing here. But like, just look at this. Look at this building. Appreciate the scale of this. Because look at how small my ship is. Look at how big that building looks compared to us. This building was not, like, massively sized. This building didn't seem all that big. But then, let's come over here. Even if this kills me, I want to kind of, like, give a general idea of how big this thing is. Look at this. Just look at this. And, like, a part of the technology that they're currently developing is this rain droplet stuff, the weather effects, where you're going to need certain kinds of armor, certain kinds of weather protection. I'm curious, is there something in here? Yes, there is. What is this? What did I find? Is there anything here? What is this place? An elevator? Alright, let's just try to walk through here. No, I don't think... I think we've got the entryway here, which we can come into. I do not think, though, we're going to actually have access to anything inside this building. I have no idea what this building actually was. I was kind of surprised there was even a door that we could use. This might just be a big apartment building, because that's a garage. And this was obviously a landing pad. You know, let's go down to the bottom so I can, like, genuinely give people a scale. So I can give you guys a scale of how big everything in this world actually is. Like, a game like EVE Online, you could never truly appreciate the scale of something, because, yeah, you could put your starter ship next to a Titan. You could put your starter ship next to some of the biggest stuff out there. But ultimately, that paled in comparison compared to what the game was, and that was you're either making money or you're losing money. Ugh. Let's start heading down to the surface, shall we? That was the building that we were in. Get below the train tracks. Oh, it does not want us to be here. Interesting. The game will take control of your ship. If you're not supposed to be somewhere, or you're trying to fly into somewhere, it will just automatically, like, kick you off. It doesn't want us to land on ground floor. Well, I mean, you still get the general idea of how big everything in this game actually is. Oh. I'm just getting bounced around right now by the invisible barriers. But I'm going to head back to Port Hollister so I can kind of finish up my thought. I'm going to do actually something kind of fun here, just for the lulz. Ejector seat. Oh. I don't know why I'm still within the planetary gravity. Let's go skydiving, shall we? There's no parachute. I am not gonna be alive after this. But this is just gonna give everybody a general idea of how... I keep going back to this, but how big everything is. We are in the upper atmosphere. I jumped. My ship is all the way up there. There is what I'm assuming is the spaceport. There's a lot of stuff. Oh, that's what I thought was a spaceport. This is just one of the major cities, by the way. I'll probably end up showing off another couple of major cities. But, yeah, we're falling. Yeah, I'm not gonna wait all the way through here. Little key note here. If you end up doing something stupid or you get yourself stuck somewhere, hold space, or hold the back button, and you can automatically kill yourself. There's been quite a few times where I've had to do that. Kinda sucks, but yeah, whatever. So welcome back to Port Hollister. I just woke back up. Or I guess I shouldn't say I woke back up, I respawned. I'm going to... I don't know, I'm probably not going to actually pull out a ship. Just going to come down to this general area. So I can kind of finish up my final thought. And that is that this game is way bigger, way better, and way more ambitious than what anybody ever thought it was going to be. I did not believe in this project from the get-go, or from the original starting point. I didn't believe that it was going to be worth trying to throw money at a dream. But Robert Space Industries, which is the company that is developing the game, they aren't just trying, they're doing. They're making a game that in 10 years, I can genuinely see in 10 years this game would still be around. It's already been in development for many, many years. But that's the thing, it's taken this long to create the technology with a small team, fully and focused on creating something that yet again, most people, me included, didn't think was actually going to happen, but it is. And so, if you guys feel the urge to try out Star Citizen, to try out the gameplay, to try to see what this game is like, definitely do it. Aurora MR, Mustang Alpha, doesn't matter which, just pick one. Personally, I like the Aurora MR. I've always liked the Aurora. Back from seeing the original like screenshots, back from hearing about this game originally, the Aurora was what I wanted, and that's the ship that I picked. And now I've had 3 Auroras in my time playing, and I don't regret it. The CL, the MR, and the LN. But if you want the Mustang, if you look at the Mustang and think, man, that thing looks sick, I want to be flying around space in a giant gunboat, do it. Give this game a shot. Give it a try. And if you're like me, super skeptical, not thinking that something like this would ever work out, definitely give it a shot. Take a look. Try and see. I still don't know how to work that camera properly. But, yet again, for real. Just experience what this game can truly offer. Have a good one.